Most Louisiana gardeners are familiar with the wonderful summer flowering shrub called oleander. Now, oleander comes in standard sizes, and these are large growing shrubs that get to be 10 feet by 10 feet or even larger over time. There are also dwarf oleanders as well. These plants are lovely in the landscape, producing lots of flowers all through the summer season in flush after flush. The dwarf oleanders tend to stay around 3 to 4 feet by 3 to 4 feet up until about 6 feet by 6 feet, depending on what variety of dwarf oleander you grow. Now, the dwarf oleanders are not as hardy as the standard oleanders, and I don't recommend them for planting in the ground in North Louisiana, but today I'd like to talk to you about using them in containers. These dwarf oleanders are simply outstanding container plants during the summertime. They don't mind the heat or the humidity. They love to be right out in the full sun, and they make really superb plants in containers around pools, on decks, and in other patio areas as long as they get plenty of sun. Now, in a container, plants dry out very quickly, and what makes oleanders so great for container culture is they're really drought tolerant, and so they're not going to pitch as big of a fit if you don't water them quite as often. But you do need to make sure you check these frequently in the summer and water them generously when needed. They come in a variety of colors, from white to different shades of pink to reds. One thing I need to make you aware of is oleanders are one of our toxic plants. Now, we grow a lot of toxic plants in our landscapes, but do be careful with oleanders. If you have young children around, keep an eye on them and make sure they don't get around the plant, and certainly don't let them chew on or swallow any of the leaves, as that's where they'll get into trouble. Forget it growing. I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.